Last episode, we visited the neighboring holds Morthal and Carthwatch. Nimona was able to save Morthal and Jarl Redarm, who had gone to talk some sense into High King Savgrim. Carthwatch, on the other hand, was destroyed and their Jarl had turned into a harrow fiend. But we were able to save the Carthwatch's Magister Fridala. She had been saved from becoming a harrow fiend because a Reachman amulet they had found on some Reachman invaders just before the harrowstorm came down on the city. Nimona was also able to save some of the civilians in a previous livestream during the quest The Blood of Old Karth. We now need to meet up with Fenn, organize our plans, and see if he can help us. He sent us a letter, which I'll read now. Friends, further work with Old Molin led me to a discovery that promises to unravel the entire mystery that has confounded us so far. To that end, I returned to the mining settlement called Dusktown. If you have additional need of my services, I have secured lodging in a building on the south side of town. I'll write again if this lead bears fruit. Fenorian.
Dusktown. I wonder what Fenn's found that led him back down there. Does his message give any indication of where we can find him? The settlement isn't big, but it's not exactly small either.
Fenn's message says he secured lodging on the south side.
Well, that's a start. You know, I never imagined I'd be working side by side with vampires, let alone ones I respect. With all the leeches we've already had to kill, it's nice to see another side. Fenn's different. And so are you.
Thank you. We certainly are. Let's go find Fenn.
I need to get my axe sharpened before we go back down into Blackreach. Don't wait for me. I'll catch up with you in Dusktown.
All right, I'll meet you there.
I hope this scholar friend of yours has learned something that can help us. Go find him and bring him back here.
All right. Lyris and I saw soldiers herding the Harrowed toward the Temple of the Divines.
My father's attempt to show that the High King isn't shirking his responsibilities. He's locked in his damn tower again. But his steward explained that the priests and healers have been commanded to do what they can for the poor souls.
You said the High King is locked in his tower?
Well, not literally. His Tower of the Wolf has been under construction for as long as I can remember. He won't let anyone inside except the builders until it's completely finished. Claims it would be bad luck to show it off early.
Did Solitude need another tower?
Some would say no. That the Tower of the Wolf is nothing more than a vanity project for the High King. My father says it's necessary for our ultimate security. A last line of defense against the Skald King's forces. Me? I think it's an eyesore.
What happens to Carthald now that Jarl Ulfwin is dead?
Carthald's problems go deeper than the loss of their Jarl. The main settlement was destroyed. I'm not sure the Hold can recover from that. What happens next depends on the High King and the next moot. That's where such decisions are made.
Tell me more about your relationship with Mog.
What's to tell? He's my friend. For all his faults, he's always dealt straight with me. He is, in his own way, honest. He doesn't care that I'm royalty. In fact, I think he'd prefer it if I weren't. I needed someone like that for a while.
How did you and Mog meet?
I was a young fool. After the 1000th argument with my father, I ran away. There was a lot of drinking involved in the decision, as I recall. Mog found me outside the city, led me back to the Lonely Troll, and we've been friends ever since.
Seems like a good guy. Leaving Princess Savannah, we head down into Duskreach. The city we discovered lies within Blackreach. Lyris finds us pretty quickly as we finally find Fenn's lodging.
Hey, partner. Glad I found you. Now let's get Fenn and return to the Blue Palace.
Hey, Lyris. Nearby, Nimona spies some beehives, which she had not seen before. Going into Finn's lodging, the Dusktown lodgings.
Fenn, you in here? Let's look around.
Oh. Either he's really messy or he was taken or something.
Fenn never struck me as a messy person. Could there have been a struggle here?
Journal pages obviously set aflame. Only snippets of writing remain. It is not easy to come by even in Blackreach. Edhar was lying. Cave-ins don't cause those sort of injuries. Trust was hard to earn, but he's sharing the truth about what happened to him, and Edhar's blood was saturated with nith. It's likely the cause of his resistance, but I need to see for myself. Edhar knows a way inside. Edhar won't cooperate. Insists on rescuing his pack members near the old dwarven tower in Lightless. I promise to free. Meet Edhar outside Dusktown. Camp east of the bridge.
Burnt papers. Someone was trying to hide something.
I agree.
Place looks deserted. Check around. Maybe we can find some indication of where Fenn has gone.
Looking around a bit more. Oh, look at the cute little teddy bear. So cute. I wonder if this is Finn's. Oh, it's so cute. There's certainly a collection of mushrooms here. I wonder if Fenn has been using them in his research or if they are just something everybody eats down here. Searching further, Nimona heads up to the second floor. Ah, we found a lore book. The Road to Savengard. Turning and finding his bedroom, we spy a flask on his dresser.
Burnt journal pages, Fenn's flask, and a strange old key. All found among clear signs of a struggle. But other than what's in the flask, we didn't see any blood. That means Fenn was probably taken alive.
What do you make of the notes in the key?
The key looks dwarven to me, and the notes mention a dwarven tower. They could be connected. The notes also indicate that Fenn was going to meet with someone named Edyar east of the Dusktown Bridge. You start there and I'll check with the locals.
All right, I'll try to find Edgar then.
We have no idea who Edyar is, or who took Fenn for that matter. It could be this Ashen Lord we heard mentioned, or maybe the Icereach Coven. The question is, why take Fenn at all? Why not just kill him? Does he have information they need?
Do you think Finn's disappearance is related to whatever drew him to Blackreach?
More than likely. If they want to get information out of him, death might be preferable to whatever tortures they have planned. Let's get to it. You find this Edyar, and I'll see if the locals saw what happened here.
All right. Nimona searches the lodging a bit more, only finding a few craftable items, and then heads out to find Edgar. We find him just northeast of Dusktown, hiding out in an old Dwemer ruin.
Sod off. This is my patch of ground.
I think we have a mutual friend.
You don't listen too well, do you? All right. Talk fast and tell me why I shouldn't rip out your throat.
I'm looking for Fenorian. His notes said he was working with you.
The silk shirt kept notes? Of course he did. And where is Fenorian? He's late, and he still hasn't compensated me for the information I gave him. I need that key.
Finn's gone missing. Tell me what the two of you were doing so I can find him.
Missing? Probably taken by the same bastard that has my packmates, Exart Singalis. Fenorian said he could provide a key to unlock their chains if I told him about the experiments performed on us. If you can get that key, I'll tell you more.
You mean this dwarven key?
Hircine's fetid breath, that's it! Look, I managed to escape from Singalis' tower, but my packmates are still chained up in the Lightless Hollow. Use that key to set them free. Then I'll tell you how to find Fenorian.
All right, I'll free your packmates.
The Lightless Hollow lies to the east, and Hircine's claws. Who is that tall woman?
Stand down. I'm a friend.
That's my friend Laris.
My packmates are in a work camp on the Lightless Hollow's west side. That's the big cavern to the east. You need that key to unlock the special chains that bind them. I'll meet you south of the work camp after you set them free.
Packmates. That's an interesting turn of phrase.
What else would you call them? My family? We're bound by a curse that makes us closer than any blood relatives. You find the pack and you stick together, or you die. Simple as that. I'm not leaving them in the hands of that insane Exarch.
Curse? What kind of pack are we talking about?
We're werewolves, all right? Do I have to spell it out for you? Look, Singalis captured us. Keeps us prisoner with chains of dwarven design. Only that key can set my pack free. I was lucky, but that kind of luck doesn't happen a second time.
So how did you get free?
Singalis' helper made a mistake. Forgot to lock the chains when I was brought back after one of my treatments. I can still feel the fire from when the needle pierced my skin. My blood flowing into his vials and beakers. It wasn't pleasant.
Well, tell me more about Tisgalis.
Exarch Singalis.
Singalis.
He's a vampire. Part of a group called the Grey Host. They're military, but he's some sort of insane genius. An alchemist, a scholar. And he tinkers with machines. My pack wouldn't fight for them, so they found other uses for us.
That's a horrible combination for an evil genius. So what kind of uses?
Digging. Tunneling, actually. Up toward the surface. Then, every so often, Singalis would send for one of us. The mad vampire likes needles. He would either take our blood or inject something into us. Never said why, but he enjoyed his work.
What were you and Finn doing before he disappeared?
Fenorian really wanted to figure out what Singalis was doing to my pack. He studied my wounds, took some fluids, and went back to get that key. He never told me where he found it. Just that he'd set my pack free if I told him everything I know.
And you think you can tell me where to find Fenorian?
He's probably in Singalis' experimentation chamber. I clawed my way out of there. It nearly killed me. I can tell you how to get inside, but you have to free my packmates first. Do that for me, and I'll help you find Fenorian.
All right. Sounds like a good deal.
None of the locals really wanted to talk. One or two admitted to seeing Fenn, but no one witnessed any kind of disturbance at his lodgings. At least, no one saw anything they were willing to tell me about. Is this Edyar? Does he know anything?
Edyar can lead us to Finn, but first we need to fulfill the bargain Finn made with him.
Why is everything so complicated in this part of Skyrim? Alright, so tell me, what did Fenn agree to do for our half-naked friend over there?
And it's not just this part of Skyrim. We need to free Edgar's packmates from the Ikark sorry, I'm gonna butcher this again. Tisgalis in the Lightless Hollow.
Packmates? Edyar is a werewolf?
Yep.
This just keeps getting better and better. So I take it you know how you want to deal with this particular situation?
Well, I'll use the key we found to free the pack. Meet me in the Lightless Hollow, south of the work camp.
Save my packmates. I'll meet you south of the camp.
Heading northeast, we cross into the Lightless Cavern. This is a new section Nimona has not yet investigated. Calling forth her trusty Indrik, she races on, fighting off a few dwarven sentries.
Oh, Edyar, where are you?
As she comes across the Lightless Cavern Waste Shrine, she finds, oh, is this one of Edyar's pack members? Oh no. Are you okay?
That scent. Why do you smell like Edyar?
Edyar sent me. Are you one of his packmates?
Edyar sent you. Then he made it. He's alive. That's wonderful news. Exarch Singalis experimented on me. I blacked out, but they thought I was dead. They tossed me out of the tower. Barely managed to crawl to this spot.
Where's the rest of your pack?
Still at the camp. To the north. Hamild, Myrtilda, and Thevin. Save them before Singalis finishes them off. Just come back. All right. I don't think I can make it on my own.
Edyar is on his way, and I'll be back with the rest of your pack. On her way to find Edyar's pack, Nimona finds a couple crimson nern roots along her path. Now, I'm unsure if I did this quest wrong or if the dialogue is misleading, because Edyar specifically said you need that key to unlock the special chains that bind them. I'll meet you south of the work camp after you set them free. That was not the case. I didn't even meet his packmates except for the one lone woman near the way shrine. But it appears she and Edyar are able to set them free just by Nimona unlocking the Dwarven Ruin. It may also be because I entered Tisgali's tower first, but I thought that was the correct way to reach his pack members. So I'm unsure what I did wrong here. Maybe his pack members were outside his tower and I just didn't see them. Ah well, we push on. Tisgali's tower. Most machinations grow best when hidden from prying eyes. Where better to do my work than in a secluded tower far beneath the earth? That way, the screams of my test subjects rarely disturb the neighbors. Exarch Tisgalis. As we enter, we can see Edyar and Brave Freddy, the lone pack member we rescued, run to the elevator to the left.
Definitely dwarven. Watch out for traps. That must be the door Edyar mentioned. Sealed tight. No lock. Not even a handle. I don't suppose the werewolf told you how to open it, did he?
No. Keldrun's notes. We are vampires of the Grey Host, so we have no need to open doors. Still, like my master Exarch Tisgalis, I have an unending thirst for knowledge. I must figure out this dwarven door. No lock, no handle, no hinges, no levers, nothing obvious. How did the ancient dwarvens open it? The pillars covered in gears, what the significance of the panels on them? 4 different images. Stars. It is said that the Dwarven were interested in the sky above. Could the panels represent different sections of the night sky? There must be some way to discern their pattern. The panels, the pattern doesn't repeat exactly, but the panels must be the answer. I think I figured it out. When you notice what's missing, the answer becomes clear. And with knowledge attained, I grow bored. On to the next great mystery. Looting the nearby backpack, Nimona finds a diagram for a solitude horn chandelier. This will make something nice for her home. Now, the puzzle here is a bit misleading at first, but remembering what we just heard, when you notice what's missing, the answer becomes clear. Ignoring the constellation decorations at the top of the door, Nimona looks at each pillar. Lyris offers support as we try to figure this puzzle out.
The gear started moving. We must be doing something right. Something turned on. Keep going.
They each have 3 bottom constellations and the top, which rotates. By rotating that to the missing constellation from what is on the bottom, that's the key to unlocking the door.
That sounded promising. Let's try the door. This chamber's been used recently. Let's look around.
Taking out the vampires in this room, we search for clues. Fenn must be close, but what else is going on here? Nether root notes? Nether root, an amazing plant. It only grows in isolated patches down here in the depths of Blackreach, but its alchemical properties are remarkably useful. I applaud the Icereach Coven witches for finding it and applying it to my recipe, but the brew they have developed is unrefined. The Ashen Lord's plans will take 1,000 more years to complete if we continue with this less than perfect concoction. I must study this abysmal root further to find a means to increase the power of the harrowstorms. Mimicking the techniques of the Under Elves provided a foundation, and their pipework farms produced greater yields, but not greater potency. I will create a more powerful reagent. I just need more time and more test subjects. With each day, in each new version of the Nether Root brew, the results increase 100-fold. The brew already provides a stronger catalyst for the harrowstorms, ensuring a more complete exchange of energy. Soon, my refined Nether Root brew will be ready, and the Ashen Lord's faith in me will be rewarded.
That's an ugly plant. Must be the netherroot mentioned in the note.
This thing? Nearby, we find a bottle of refined Nether Root brew.
Why does everything connected to vampires involve blood?
Well, it is their life source. And finally, we find a lycanthropic immunity letter. Izark Alfra presented an interesting challenge. Can my alchemy and sorcery harrow one of her kind? By design, the harrowstorms are not meant to affect our philanthrope brothers and sisters, but in the centuries since the Grey Host last set out to conquer, the breeds of vampires and werewolves have become a diaspora promulgated across the world. Not all of them have the sense to bow before the Ashen Lord, including the prisoners Alfra captured today. She could have easily ripped these lesser creatures apart for their defiance, but instead she delivered them to me for a more methodical dissection. There's a hunter's cunning hiding in that bestial skull. The prisoners respect a pack hierarchy, in effectuation of the origin of their curse, no doubt. By holding their leader, Edgar, hostage, and the other members remain compliant. By offering a slim mercy to the other werewolves, Edgar assumes the role of willing test subject. They are dreadfully simple creatures, after all. The incredible constitution of the werewolf, even in its human shape, creates one of many obstacles I must overcome to complete my study. The nether root seemingly has no effect on the subjects, even in its concentrated form. Weakening the grip of the body on the soul will be the first step towards delivering it to the desired destination. I should have thought of it sooner. The creature's connection to oblivion is something I can leverage. Even if it is tied to a different realm within that great expanse, that connection can help bridge the gap between Mundus and what lies beyond. And the werewolf's lifeblood can imbue the nether root with a vigor that our undeath simply cannot duplicate. It's working. With each new refinement of the blood distillate, the nether root grows stronger and more toxic. The werewolf shows greater signs of affliction with every injection. The only question that remains is whether or not its soul can be successfully exchanged when it inevitably succumbs to the ritual. Philanthropic community.
That was Fenn. We need to keep moving.
Hearing Finn's tortured screams, Nimona pushes on, but I'm all out of time. Next episode, we will explore further into this dwarven ruin and uncover more on how they use this nether root for creating their evil contraptions. What grand plan they have for Western Skyrim, and hopefully we'll be able to save Fenorian. Until then, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.